Under the Broom Tree offers a fresh view on the incredible life of Elijah, known as the greatest prophet of the Bible, who performed exceptional miracles but was described as an ordinary man. I discuss the beauty of his weakest moment under the broom tree, where he asked God to let him die, and how from it emerged a beautiful picture of God's extraordinary sustaining love for each person. I recall specific life experiences that brought me to the end of my own strength under the broom tree, and how God restored me there every time and whispered valuable teachings to my heart, words meant to be shared with everyone. I'm a physician who started writing as a hobby about 12 years ago, but developed quickly into a passion. Under the Broom Tree is my first nonfiction book. It began taking shape in my mind about 7 years ago when I was listening to a message on the life of Elijah. I was heart-struck by how he experienced his weakest moment right after performing a mountaintop miracle. God made sure both events were documented in his word, not just when Elijah triumphed, but also when he faltered. It was as if God grabbed my hand and whispered to my spirit, "Pay attention to this. You know what it feels like to be Elijah under the broom tree." I knew exactly what it was like to be there on my knees before Almighty God, with no one but him to sustain me. Regardless of how successful, accomplished, and put together I may have appeared on the outside, I was humbly familiar with the falling apart moments of life. I always learned a valuable lesson on those occasions. It was where I heard God's voice the loudest and felt urged to write down what he told me, though at the time I didn't know why. When he gave me the title Under the Broom Tree, I understood the why. I'm a board-certified pediatrician with almost 20 years of clinical experience. Growing up, I struggled with anxiety, depression, and OCD, and my traditional conservative but well-meaning Indian family expected me to keep my feelings and emotions bottled up and controlled. Mental health issues were simply not discussed in my culture. I grew up attending church but was agnostic until a Bible study I attended in college changed the course of my life. In Under the Broom Tree, I share my own experiences, especially with topics that are considered taboo in my culture. I discuss what I've learned as a pediatrician about the identity crisis and mental illness epidemic in this current generation. A.W. Tozer said, "The essence of surrender is getting out of God's way so that he can do in us what he also wants to do through us." Under the Broom Tree is my surrender.